So good evening, you all. Can you all hear me? Okay. So somebody just sent me an email concerning Yusef. This happened in Bibb County, which is in Macon, Georgia. I'm not ecstatic about it, but there's a slant to this. And let me say this because I saw it. I actually saw it. And Bibb County is in Macon, Georgia. He is in jail. It is Yusef, and it's unfortunate. But I want to say this: Yusef did what Yusef did, if he did it. I don't know what went on. I don't know what happened except what they have on the charges. But Yusef does not represent the community because I do see what could happen and what people do. And I know how people try to label folks because we hear it all the time in this sector. We've heard people come in and call same gender loving gay black men all kind of junk. So I'm well aware of what has gone on. And like I said, it doesn't look good. It looks very bad. And so I want to be very clear on that because I know what people will try to do. To me, this is no different than female high school teachers trying to sleep with young boys. It ain't no different than heterosexual teachers trying to sleep with young women and vice versa. And I don't think any of those people should be around children. So let me make that clear. I don't care if you are a male or a female, gay or straight. Leave children alone. Now, I was not the arresting officer. I did see the charges because someone sent it. I am not celebrating this situation because maybe somebody is a victim and somebody has to pay for it. People are grown. And this is what I'm telling you all again. You can either make the wrong decision or the right decision. Now, I'm just saying what I saw. I am really not commenting on this except, y'all make the right decisions in life. The law is for the lawless. I don't care who you are. I had a situation where I actually had to listen to someone who was labeled an SO, which is, of course, a sex offender, and they spent jail time for it. And when you hear SO, you know people already having that mind or their mind what that's about. Well, come to find out that the young man was 18 and his girlfriend was 17. When they broke up, the girlfriend told her mom about the breakup. The mom pressed charges, and that 18-year-old boy went to jail because of his 17-year-old girlfriend. So all I'm saying is there are instances where people have done certain things and it don't really fit the severity. Now, in Yusuf's case, y'all, I can only tell you all what I saw. And it's a real case. Seems like he is in real trouble. because what is alleged was very grave, very severe, and very serious. And he made the wrong decision. And I'm telling you all this as well. Whether you are a female, leave young boys alone. If you are a male, leave these young girls alone. Leave these young people alone. And that's what I'm going to say. It is Yusef. Somebody did send it, but everybody's going to look at this differently. And I know what's getting ready to run down the pipe. I know what some people are going to try to do. And I just want to get before this and say that men, women do this, and it's not right no matter who does it. And I'm going to say that it's not right for older men to try to pick up underage young girls. It is not right for women of a certain age to try to pick up young boys. And it's not right for same gender loving men to try to do the same thing. What I'm trying to say, it's not right. If people are not of consenting age, you better move on and keep it going. So I saw it. It just came to my email. And that's what I really have to say about it. I am really concerned about how some people will try to turn this and flip this. And I'm not excusing that man's behavior if he is found guilty, because the law is for the lawless. I don't care if you're gay, straight. I don't care. The law is for the lawless. I just want to say that, you all, because I know how people are. We've been in this sector for a long time, and we know what people will do. So I just want to I saw it. I was mortified when I saw it. But let me say this. I was mortified because I don't know Yusef. I don't know a lot of these people, but that's some serious stuff. And you still see him on platforms. He's always talking. That doesn't seem like something he would do, but you never know what people are going through. Okay? And I'm going to leave it at that. And now this makes me very, 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 yeah, let me say this. I don't have a problem with meeting people, but this is why I tell people that you should know the difference between entertaining and real. And this is why I got friends that are not YouTube. I don't have friends on YouTube. I don't. Because you don't know these people. You don't get a deep relationship with people. The friends that I do have in San Antonio and Ohio and New York and Chicago and Florida, I've known for years. And the sad part about them is you don't know everything about them either. So if that could happen, dealing with strangers. And this is why I tell people, watch what you tell them, folks. Y'all overshare. Y'all be telling people y'all lives and all of this stuff, and you just don't know. I'm just being real. And I'm not saying that this man has done something, but I do know that he is incarcerated right now. We do know what the charges are. And that's all I'm saying about that. And I'm in front of this because, again, all gay people are not trying to lure young people no more than all straight men are trying to lure little girls or women are trying to lure little boys. I just want to be clear with that because, again, when you try to put that label on every gay man in the beef sector, and I'm not saying everybody, but a lot of people do that, you really have to get in front of this kind of stuff. You really have to. And Yusef he doesn't represent all of gay people. And I'm saying that because people will try to put that, and this is what Trump has done with immigrants and people run with it. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. No more than uh yeah, no more than that African American man in Maryland who was knocking off them people. Everybody ain't who black is not a sniper. I'm just saying. We just got to be very careful. I was sent the info. It came in about 10 minutes ago, and I clicked and looked through it and wanted to make sure because I know what people do. I am not, like I said, Yusef made some decisions, and the man ain't been to court yet. But it is alleged, and court documents say for Bibb County, which is Macon, Georgia, that this is what's going on. Okay? So I'm only going off of that, no more, no less. However, I'm going to say this. I don't care if you're heterosexual. I don't care if you're pansexual. I don't care who you are. The law is for the lawless. And if you mess with an underage minor, you are going to jail. And you shouldn't be doing that anyhow. And I don't care if you are a male, female, gay, or straight. And I'm putting that out there because, again, we have a population that will get attacked because people have been saying this. It was really interesting because somebody told me that somebody had said that about me. And I'm like, oh, okay, and I know it's not true, but it's just it's just ironic that this would happen. And it could be a Chris Hansen thing. Um, but we don't know. And that's the state of Georgia. And maybe Bibb County is Macon. But let me say this though, Macon is pretty urban and a lot of black people, but it's deep south. So again, it could be a sting. I don't know what it is. Yusef is not here to defend himself. I am not making any assumptions or conspiracy theories. All I'm going off of is what I saw. It was a picture. I know it's Bibb County. Bibb County is Macon, Georgia. It's really funny because I had to go through Bibb County to get to Atlanta, and I have a lot of relatives in Macon and Perry, Georgia. So when it was Bibb County, I'm like, "Ooh, that's Macon." And so, yeah. So, but somebody did send it, and like I said, I saw it, and I'm like, "Wow." Hold on for a minute, y'all, because I'm gonna look at it one more time. Hold on for a minute. One more time. Hold on. I'll be right back. Uh, so yeah, it came from the Georgia Gazette. So my source was from the Georgia Gazette. It was from the Georgia Gazette, you all. Um, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know what is really, like I said, I haven't heard from Yusef. We only see that. We don't know if it's a sting operation or not, but baby, don't put yourself in that situation. Um, yeah, I don't really know the background except what is being said. And once again, this is from the Georgia Gazette. Simon, if this is Simon, who I think who in Great Britain, no, you ain't coming up because you can't add nothing unless you live in Georgia, unless you Yusef's lawyer. Child, no, I don't got time for foolery today. I just really don't. So yeah, it's breaking news, but I'm not all rah rah about it. I don't know except what the Georgia Gazette has put out there, but it's serious. And again, I'm coming to make sure everybody knows that gay men do this. Not all gay men do this. No more than straight men do this, straight women do this, lesbian women do this. All I'm trying to say is people do this out of all persuasions, whether you black, whether you are white, Asian, no matter what the religion, people do this. It is not right, no matter what your persuasion is. And I want to say that because people will take it and say, oh, all gay men do that. And no, all gay men don't. Do gay men do it? Yes. But do all gay men do it? No, no more than straight women and straight men. Because again, there's a lot of things going on with those situations. Just the other day, you know, this girl did something to harm herself because her stepfather violated her and got her pregnant. You see what I'm saying? And that's is uncomprehensible, comprehensible. Period. It is vile and nasty. Period. I don't care who does it. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're straight. I don't care if you're Catholic. I don't care if you're Protestant. I don't care if you are Mexican. I don't care if you're Asian. It is wrong. And I want to get that message out clearly that it is wrong, incomprehensible. And so I'm saying this because, again, I know what some of the people in this sector will do. I know what they'll do. Black math, you are correct. You are correct. And that's what I'm saying this for, because already I know what people will do. And that's why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. It's the behavior, not the orientation. It is the behavior. And see, y'all already telling me that ZX is on that tip. You see what I'm saying? This is why I'm saying what I'm saying, because it is unfortunate that Yusef is a gay man accused of doing this act, because now it's going to reverberate in the community. We know all gay men don't do this. We know it's not the orientation, but the behavior. But when you have ignorant individuals like Grown Folks TV who will take something like this because he already has a bias and run with it, then you know it's going to be a problem. And see, I even have issues with him because at the end of the day, if I'm not mistaken, he tapes women. How do we know this? They had that picture of that woman in that kitchen when that lady said that he had burnt her and she was going to talk to Kimmy. He threatened to put that video out of her. So that's predatory as well. The only difference is that was between two consenting adults. But one of the adults may not know they have been taped, which is against the law too. But they're consenting adults. And I just want to make sure that we need to know that it's not about orientation, it's about behavior. Oh, you know, I knew Dre Day. That's why I came on and that's why I said what I said, because DX ain't the only one. It's some people who are real low down, sneaky and snaky who are not homophobic men. And that's why I came out to say what I said. And I mean, like I said, y'all, Yusef has been accused of doing this. I've seen the picture. I know what county it's in. I know what city it's in. I know this. I know this. Uncle Clyde, Yusef has been accused of trying to entice an underage minor. And it's a lot of mess going on. And like I said, at the end of the day, Yusef has not had his court date, but this is what he's been accused of. I want to be very clear on that. We're not making any judgments to say he did or not. This is what he's been accused of because he has his day in court. And I'm sure he have a lawyer, but this is what he's been accused of. I'm only coming in because I do know that there are many homophobic people. And I know just the other day, somebody called me a PDF. And I know that that's what they do. That's the first thing, that's the first jacket they want to put on gay men, and they're PDFs. And I'm just trying to let you all know that it's not orientation, it's behavior. Because there are a lot of people who have behavior issues who are gay, straight, it doesn't matter your color, your creed. There are people in all walks of life who are not well and they're predatory. I'm not saying Yusef is that because he's been accused of this and he will have his day in court. But I just want to get in front of this because, again, I know that there are ignorant people like ZX who will run with this and start stuff. And I'm not even arguing with him, but I just want people who have sense enough to know that this is a behavior thing, not an orientation thing, because I know that somebody's going to try to run with it. And ZX is not the only one. Yes, he's been accused of that. Now, again, does it look good? Are the optics great? Not at all. I saw the picture. I know what county it's in. And even the person who sent it to me, I looked at it and I didn't immediately jump on because my thing is, see, we got to be very careful how we present things. First of all, this man has been accused of this. He has not been sentenced. He is definitely in jail. And you write the state of beings, but he has not had his day in court. And so even if the optics look bad and he is not even beef sector. Yusef comes over and visits the beef sector, but he's not beef sector. He comes over and visit the beef sector. He's been over here for a good minute. But Yusef is gay. And for the mere fact that Yusef is a gay man, accused of this activity, you're going to have people like your ZXs and other people really push this towards the community. And like I said, this is no different than that teacher who had a relationship with that boy. And a lot of teachers, female, having teachers with relationships with young boys or men underage, young boys underage. No different than teachers and male teachers and males having inappropriate relationships with young girls. It's the behavior. It is predatory. No matter how you try to fix it up, but because Yusef is gay, people will run with that even harder. So I just want to be very clear on that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to have issues with what I said. I don't care because we got to be very careful that we're not labeling people because of all of this foolishness. And his bail has been denied. Yes, it has been. So that's what I said to you all. Never once have I said it wasn't severe. It is very severe. It is very serious. But I'm coming on because there has to be a voice of reason. We have elements that's in our sector and on the exterior of our sector that will actually go and attack a group of people because of what Yusef has been accused of. Protect yourself. I'm not arguing with you. I am saying that this happens in all groups. Now, I'm not going to sit here and argue, and nobody is trying to deflect. Yusef is in jail because of what he's been accused of. But I'm not a PDF file. I know Spill It Boy ain't a PDF file. There are people who I know. Rebel ain't no PDF file. I'm talking about people that I know. I can't speak for everybody. So that's what I'm trying to say, because I do know that there are some people who will use that, because I was just called that the other day. And I am being very clear. Now, for this, protect your neck, I give you one more time. And I'm going to take, you know what? I'm not going to even give you one more time. For the mere fact that you did that, I'm not even giving you one more time. It's not even one more time. Now, that's all I'm saying, you all. And for those who know, you know, you know, you know. Thank you, Ron, and thank you, Uncle Claude. I appreciate you all, but I just want to be clear on that. As y'all can see, I am not tearing down Yusef. I am not saying that, I am saying that the story is true. I am saying that his picture is in the Georgia Gazette and it has his charges. However, Yusef has not gone before the judge to get his sentencing. That's what I'm saying. And the allegations are serious enough that he is not getting bail. And I just want to make sure it's clear. And I'm not saying that we are distancing ourselves from the beef sector, because Yusef comes in and he'll pop in and go right out and pop right on in. But I'm just being very clear, because we know what ZX is probably already doing, or he's going to do. Yeah, predators are everywhere. And let me say this, y'all. I said what I said about that particular content creator because that person really records people and pretty much told us that that's what they do. The only difference is it's between two consenting adults, but one of the persons may not know that they're being recorded. And that's predatory and that's criminal as well. Divine, I don't think that's funny. That's Bibb County, baby. Yeah, that's Bibb County. That's Macon, Georgia. Great day. I know what it is. Let me say this, you all. I am not trying to excuse what Yusef may or may not have done. Again, I am not the court of law. All I know is this is what he's been accused of. It's pretty severe because there's no bail. But again, you see what's going on? You see what's going on? So, yeah. Yeah, Bibb County is Macon, Georgia. Okay, so I'm not here in my ooh child voice. No, it's not a ooh child thing because this is a bad situation. It is not good. It is really, really intense. And this should be a learning lesson to everyone. If you ain't dealing with consenting adults, you're going to jail. This is no different than that Jeffrey Epstein thing. Now, let me say that. Now, I'm getting ready to make some people mad. This is why people are in trouble right now because there were grown men in power with gobs of money having inappropriate relationship with underage teenage girls. The difference is they were being flown to private islands. The rich and the powerful were abusing these people. And what Yusef is accused of doing, it is no different than what Andrew in the royal family has done, ain't no different than what the president is being accused of doing. It's just you have heterosexual men abusing underage women. I want to be very clear on that. I want to be very clear on that. It's not orientation. It is behavior. Ain't no different than Weinstein. Ain't no different than Diddy. Ain't no different than Allen. It's no different than what's the man who's been accused? The actor, Kevin Spacey. Ain't no different than that. And he is allegedly gay. So all I'm saying is this is the same thing. It just happened to be, I'm assuming, another male. And we don't know if it's a male or female unless they have said that. All I know is underage person. And I'm just bringing that out because I know how people will try to twist this and turn this and make it about a gay thing. I'm not sure what Brianna is doing, you all. I didn't see Brianna. I just know, and I'm not going to reveal the source, but I do know that somebody sent it to me and it sent me to the Georgia Gazette. And this was sent to me. So I'm sure a lot of people are covering it. But before I jumped out, I really had to breathe, look at this, because people send you stuff for a reason. I'm being real with that now. People send you stuff for a reason. And this is not the stuff this is not high octane, ooh, let me tell y'all what happened type stuff. No, I had to really step back and say, how am I going to present this? Because I know what people try to do. I'm not excusing this alleged behavior. But what I am trying to do is let you all know that predators of any kind should not be tolerated. That goes for Epstein, Weinstein, Spacey, Diddy, whoever, gay, straight, it doesn't matter. And that's what I'm trying to say. Because, like I said, I have not heard ZX, but when you know people, I know how people are. And I know people will try to put this jacket on a whole community and don't look at other stuff. And this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Let me go on over there real quickly, y'all. Let me see something. So I went to Rick's community wall. And as you can see, it's from the Georgia Gazette. So I guess whoever had to send it to the Georgia Gazette. I'm reading this your stuff. Now, Rick Reed took a different approach to this. That man has not had his day in court. It don't look good, but I'm not going that route. I'm going to say this, you all. You know, when Beef Sector first started, it was wild, wild west. Baby, we would do any and everything. But you got to realize what this apparatus is about. And at some point in time, you have to grow. You have to grow. And at the end of the day, I could have taken this and went that route. But one thing is, I don't know Yusef like that. I don't have an issue with Yusef. Even if I did, I'm still going to look at the situation, because sometimes we're our own worst enemy. I am not saying that this man needs to be excused. If he did the crime, he needs to do the time. But right now, he hasn't gone to court. He hasn't gotten his sentencing. We haven't gotten any of that. All we know is what we know. Okay? You don't know what can happen. You don't know what the day can bring. You don't know what can happen to you. This is why I don't be speaking on people and speaking death on people and all of that. Baby, I don't do that, because you never know. I think it's about decisions and choices that you make. Even how to cover this situation with Yusef is a choice. It is a choice and a decision. I decided to speak on it because it affects a community of people. And a lot of people may not think so. They may roll their eyes and say, but as Black people, we know that when a Black person does something wrong, that a lot of people start looking at Black people. And we know all Black people ain't stealing. We know all Black people ain't killing. We know all Black people are not doing that. We know that there's some, but we know that that is not all. Okay? Because we know how that feels. So as a gay person in the LGBTQIA community, when shit like this happens, we know what people are going to do and are going to say. And we know that all people in the community aren't predators. We know, just like we know all Black people aren't this. And that's all I'm trying to say. Because I know that there's some people who are really going to try and put that jacket on a group of people. And I just want to be clear that everybody is not doing that, just like everybody Black is not doing that. We don't know everybody Black, just like everybody who does this and so on and so forth. I'm just saying. And hello, Jules, you know what? You could be correct on that. I heard him say those things. I did. I heard him say those things, but that's on him and not the whole community. But hello, Jules, I thought of that. That came to mind. That came to mind. Oh, yes, it did. It came to mind. It came to mind. So, I'm just saying, y'all, it's a lot of things that happen. This is why I tell people, baby, if you got to pee, please find a restroom or porta potty. Because, baby, people will bring you up on charges if you peeing in a public place. You got to watch everything. So I'm just saying this. I'm not making excuses for bad, egregious, irresponsible behavior. If Yusef is found guilty, if you do the crime, you should do the time. I don't care if you're gay, straight, or whatever. That's all I'm saying. Simona on. I wish everybody could think like that, but we're in some of the people in this sector, not all, but some of these people are not logical thinkers. Some of these people have enmity, disdain, and pure hatred towards certain groups of people. And this will push their claim farther. So I just want to make sure that there is a voice of reason. And trust me, I really, before I came on, and let me say this, y'all, it's not about who breaks the news first. I got this about 10 minutes ago. Somebody sent me this. But I sat on this because I just didn't want to come out without, I have a reason. Because I know people have agendas. I know people have slants. I know people in this sector. It doesn't help when you see what happened with just fired head coach. Heterosexual man, but all Black men are not cheating on white women and getting their assistants pregnant. But again, that's power. That's I'm above the law because that man was getting $6 million a year. And this is why I go back to the Weinstein and the Epstein and all of that foolery, because it is the same thing, except that is a heterosexual power dynamic. We know that there were underage women at those islands. We know that these women were being trafficked by powerful men. So let's not act like we don't see what we've been talking about in the news. But then when it comes to Yusef being accused, then it's all the gays. It's behavior, not orientation. And I just want to make that very clear today. Oh, we know. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying now. That's what I'm saying now. And some of us ain't even helping. And that's all I'm gonna say, y'all. I don't have nothing else to say. Just use wisdom. Y'all. I don't want to. I don't want nobody, because this is really not up for discussion. It's really not. I don't feel like dropping the link today. I'm sorry, y'all. You know what? I really don't feel like dropping the link. And it's not because I don't want you on, but I really don't want to hear anything. This is really not up for debate or discussion with me. This is more be careful, be wise, use wisdom. The man has to get, he has to have his day in court. You know, I'm not saying, y'all, I'm not in the mood for stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I know you can agree with me, and and I appreciate that, y'all. I really do. But I'm really serious about this, because, you know, you don't know what it is to be gay unless you are. And this is why I can't allow people who claim that they're heterosexual speak for me, because you cannot. Just like a white person cannot speak on the plight of Black people. You can know the history of it. You can be an ally, but you haven't gone through it. And this is what I'm trying to say. So again, when people have stereotyped you and typecast you as Black people, and when Black people have to go through shit and they're like, oh my God, I hope that person ain't Black. Or, you know, because we go through it. And as a Black person, I know that. But now there's another hat. And again, I'm coming because of this. And I think it's crazy to do that, but I know how people are. And I don't care what your values are. Your values have nothing to do with me. Again, if you're not gay, then you don't speak for me because you don't know. And that's all I'm saying. So it's not about you agreeing with me or not, because you're not me. And that's what I'm trying to say. And I used to have some values that I don't have anymore, because a lot of those values were based out of ignorance. A lot of those values were based out of groupthink and things. And like I said, all I'm saying is that the law is for the lawless, and anybody who breaks the law needs to go to jail. So if Yusef broke the law and he is found guilty by a court of law, then Yusef needs to go to jail. But just like Yusef is going to jail, I want everybody who had anything to do with that Epstein situation and who violated those teenage girls at the time, they need to go to jail. Anybody who is a adult and especially a teacher of young kids and they pull that, they need to go to jail. Whether you are female dating a underage male or a male dating an underage female, you need to go to jail. I don't care who you are. Again, not about orientation, but about behavior. Now, I'm going to say this. I know people are saying this about another content creator. It could be true. It may not be true, but it's about behavior and not about orientation because some people have incest in their family. Some people have cousins and uncles, and it's just as wrong. See, it's cute when it's gay people, but then when we start looking in people's families and we start looking into other stuff, it ain't orientation, it's behavior. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. People try to put jackets on folk. And the sad part about it, y'all, is a lot of these people have had lesbian and gay relations and all of this. And again, they played that jump in, jump out game, that jump in, jump out game. And I do believe that sexuality is on a spectrum, but I think you got to be very, very careful when you try to put jackets on people. It's behavior, not orientation. And and if I can't stress that enough, I'm stressing that because, if we lived in a perfect world, it would have been like, oh, that's sad that this happened. My heart goes out to the victim. If this is true, then this person needs to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. If they're found guilty, that's what sane, logical people do. But baby, we're not dealing with logical people in some of these sectors. We're not. We're really not. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying tonight. And we've seen it. Somebody tried to put that jacket on me. I'm like, man, I have a beautiful relationship and I don't play that. I have been a high school instructor. I have been a college instructor. And I have never had that issue. First of all, I ain't losing my job for nobody. I ain't never been in that situation. First of all, that's our future. Let me tell y'all something. I had students who were gay and lesbian in high school because it's not like what it was when I was going to school. And I had to tell this little lesbian, I'm like, look, baby, you get your lesson here. No, ma'am. You're not going to do that. And my job is to teach. And baby, I was a stellar teacher. They did not like me because I was mean. Now, let me just say they didn't like me. I didn't play. I had great classroom management. And my thing is, in Texas, especially these larger school systems, baby, they hire some people who are unsavory. But I'm going to tell you, the majority of the problem has not been gay men. It has been heterosexual men and heterosexual women sleeping with these children. Now, are gay men involved in some of this? Yep, they are. But baby, gay men know the consequence. Because baby, if you think that straight men and straight women who mess with kids gonna be in trouble, oh, you can imagine if somebody gay would do it. Okay. And I'm just saying, because I've been in San Antonio and, it's very rare that you hear a gay man or a gay woman taking advantage of a student. But baby, when I tell you, okay, and again, I am not saying that that's everywhere. That's just my observation being in Texas. So yeah, I'm just being real, y'all, because people try to put jackets on folks, and I don't put jackets on everybody. I think it's sad. I think it's unfortunate, and like I said, there is a victim in this situation, and people are going to have their day in court. Yeah, Kai, I know that he probably would say something like this, but again, I go back. See, ZX ain't saying nothing about Epstein, Weinstein. He's not saying anything about those people, you know. And again, it's not about orientation, it's about behavior. And y'all, I don't want to bring it up, but ZX, a lot of people have accused you of taping your sexual exploits and threatening women. We've seen plenty of women in your kitchen and you putting it out there. We remember that woman who was getting ready to talk to Kimmy, and you threatened that if she comes out, you would put her situation out. And I find that predatory, even though you all are consenting adults. Do those women know that you taping them? I'm just saying, because that's predatory too. See, we predatory, but you doing shit like that. Child. See, this is why I look at these people and I just shake my head. I'm just saying. I know. I know. He can see everybody except himself. And all I'm saying is, I think that's extremely predatory, and that's why I'm saying what I'm saying right now. This is what I'm saying tonight. Because we have the ZXs of the world, and we have the homophobic women who surround themselves with this. And this is why I don't fight for nobody. I am not bitter. I am not jaded. I just look at these people, and I'm going to say it again. Gay people have been in the beef sector since the beef sector. I mean, most of us came out of a situation where there was a trans woman and a woman with gay men helping the trans woman. And the straight woman said to the trans woman, see, this is why I don't deal with sissies. And the trans woman sitting there because technically the trans woman is a sissy. And the trans woman did everything to be friends. And all of a sudden, all hell broke loose. Now, a lot of us came out of that camp. We came out of a lot of different camps. But, baby, we were here. And then we had some missionaries to go bring some people over here because I guess they couldn't read well enough or they didn't, but then they brought these straight men, allegedly, over here. And when they were attacking us, them hoes didn't do nothing. Only a few. But the ones who real vocal, they ain't say shit. And then when them same straight men start attacking those straight women, then they expected the gays to come fight. I'm like, hell no. See, this is why I'm not in groups. This is why I'm not in associations and alliances, because these hoes are very convenient around here. And this is why I don't get into people's shit, because these hoes are extremely convenient. See, they don't understand how those men treated us coming in here. Baby, they gonna treat you the same way. See, people don't understand that. I learned very early from Delta Airlines. What happened to the junior people is going to eventually happen to the senior people. And that's just real. Let me tell you something. And it happens. And I am not intimidated by any straight man. Hell, I don't went to baby, I don't went to college. I've been in corporate spaces with people, and it doesn't. But let me say this though. It bothers a lot of straight men when you are confident and just as accomplished as they are. Jonathan Capehart, Don Lemon, James Baldwin, Philip Randolph. Baby, it's a lot of gay men that ran some shit. And what did stupid Clayton Adam Powell do to King's speechwriter and the organizer of the March in Washington? He outed him. But that same hoe was cheating on Hazel Scott, the pastor of Abyssinia Baptist Church, but had the nerve. It's always been like that. So this is not a gay man, straight man thing, because obviously King was secure in his sexuality, and a lot of people were secure in their sexuality to let that man lead. But again, you had weaklings like Adam Clayton Powell, and I don't give a damn, he was the pastor of Abyssinia. He cheated on Hazel Scott, that beautiful woman, and he was the pastor of Abyssinia. I bring that out because, see, people can always see the speck in their eye, but they can't see the forest in theirs. A-Train, I understand what you're saying completely, but I am saying what I'm saying. And the reason why I'm saying this, A-Train, is because we have instances over here where this stuff will come. And I understand what you're saying. But again, just yesterday, somebody called me a PDF file. Just yesterday. And again, when you are heterosexual, you don't get it. And I go back again and I say this. Black people know that all Black people are not thieves. We know all Black people are not on welfare. We know that. We know that. And we hate it when we see something that puts a blemish on us. We hate that. And right now, it's the same thing. We know all gay men and women are not predators and PDF files. But you got somebody out there right now flaming up pushing the flames and putting winds to the flames to attack a group. And if you don't think I'm not going to say anything about it, you are mistaken. And you're right, A-Train. You're right. It is about orientation. I mean, it's about behavior rather, and not orientation. It's about behavior and orientation, but you got some people making about orientation. I understand, but baby, I'm getting in front of it. And again, I do this for a reason. And as a Black and gay man, I know what it is to deal with racism, and I know what it is to deal with homophobia. And I know what it is to deal with ageism and a whole lot of other shit. You keep living. But I just want to be very clear tonight. And when I came out here, I did not come out here to fan the flames. No pun intended. I saw that situation with Yusef, and I just looked at it, and I'm like, how are you going to talk about this? Because you're going to have some gay men who going to go right for the jugular because, baby, they don't see the bigger implication. Because, again, we can attack Yusef. Whether he is innocent or guilty or what, we can attack Yusef, but them hoes thinking the same thing about you. And what I'm trying to say is, I'm not making excuses for Yusef. Yusef is someone we know in the sector. And Yusef has been accused of an egregious, egregious, very serious crime in Macon, Georgia. He's been accused of this. Now, he has not gotten a sentence. He's not been said he's innocent or guilty. He's been accused. I want to be very clear about that. But when we start attacking folk, and I'm not saying, and I'm not, but they think the same thing about you. And that's all I'm saying. See, even he said it. He said it. But see, you don't understand, though. I don't care how accomplished you are. I don't care how well you speak. I don't care how masculine or femme you may be. They think that about every last one of us. Some people. Some people. And just like some people think that all Black people are like that, be careful. That's all I'm saying. A Train, I want y'all to catch this. Have I said that I agree with people who mess with children and elderly? Did you all hear me say that? I never said that once. Did y'all hear me say that if you do the crime, you need to do the time? I think I've been saying that. But I think you really need to understand the deeper implications. Whether the man is guilty or innocent, look at the deeper implications. Look what's going on in the sector right now and what people are trying to push. Okay? That's all I'm saying. If we dealt with sane, logical people, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. But we're not dealing with sane, logical people. Okay, I'm just being real because, see, I have never said one time that what the alleged did was right. It's alleged. He has not had his court date. He's been denied bail, but they have not said you have been guilty or found guilty by the state of Georgia. We haven't gotten a sentencing yet. I'm just saying. So until that happens, it's alleged. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but what I am saying is anybody who does it needs to be prosecuted, whether you are the wealthiest person in the world or poor as hell. So I want justice for the Weinstein victims. I want justice for the Epstein victims. I want justice for this victim, if that's what the case is. That's all I'm saying. Whether you are gay or straight, if you do anything to anybody underage and knowing that you're doing it, you deserve that time. I think that's very clear. Behavior, not orientation. That's all I'm saying. What we're going to do for one, we're going to do for all. That's all. Okay, I get you, A Train. And even that, like I said, it is what it is. Well, you can yeah, a lot of people got the email because there's a reason why. And like I said, I don't think the issue is funny. I think the issue is sad. I think it's sad because there's a victim involved. Somebody needs to go and get some therapy if this is true. And then I think it's sad because, you know, I don't agree with the situation, but there is a group of people who put that label on everybody. So whether it's Jay Wilson, whether it's Mother, whether it's Rick Reed, whether it's Jives, whether it's Roe, whether it's Brian, whether they'll put that jacket on everybody. Because all gay men, in their mind, do this. And when we start doing some crazy stuff, then it's a CC, even the gays agree with that. No, no, no. It's alleged that he did it. He's going to spend time in jail if he did do it. But like I said, I don't know all the circumstances around it. We only have a fragment of the information. We don't know if this was a sting. We don't know any of this. All we know is what we got from the Georgia Gazette and what's in that criminal record. And so I'm really going to sit and wait. I am not passing judgment. All I'm saying is if the alleged is found guilty, he needs to serve his time. If he's found innocent, he's still going to be looked at with the side eye. But it is what it is. Okay, so that's it, y'all. I just don't really want to talk to anybody right now and have a guest. I don't need a panel about this because my mind is. I just see this is in layers, you all. There's a victim, and like I said, I don't even know if the person met the victim. We don't know if he did something with the victim. I don't know, but there is a victim. Somebody's been accused. Somebody's life is on the line right now. Could spend some time in jail. But then the ramifications of that is in this sector, we got some people who have the mindset that gay people are degenerate, but yet they have nothing really major to say about, again, what I just mentioned with the Epstein, Weinstein teachers and people in leadership position who take advantage of people who may not be gay. Not excusing it because any way you look at it is wrong. It's about behavior and not orientation. But when people try to make it about orientation, then that's when I have a problem, you all. And I just want y'all to get that. That's a problem. That's a problem. That's a problem. And that's the problem that I have because I know the sector and I know some of the players in the sector. So I just want to be clear, y'all. Well, look, I'm getting ready to log off. I said what I said. A lot of people may not agree with it, and that's fine. But I'm coming I'm coming from a place of waiting. I'm coming from a place of there's more to this, and we need to know. I'm only going off the information that was given, which is not enough to know if somebody's going to be innocent or guilty because we really don't know what this was all about. We don't know if it was a sting operation. We don't know if it was on a computer. Or we don't know. Not saying that's right or wrong either. And when I looked at it again, when I looked at this, I stepped back and said, okay, how am I going to talk about this? Because, yeah. Well, baby, your community is our community. So who this just Krista Stash? First of all, your name just says who you are, but I'm not arguing with you. But the Weinstein community, the Epstein community, the Diddy community is just as sick as well. Again, see, this is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Because they're saying that gay people are sick, but all of the other shit that's going on with underage girls and all of this stuff is perfectly fine. Is that what you're saying, just Krista Stash? I want them. Don't block them. I want just Krista Stash to answer that question. I'm here for this troll. So just Krista Stash. I see your comment. I see your comment here. So what Epstein and all of those straight men did, that was okay? Okay. So I just see that you're ignorant, and that's all I needed. And see, y'all, again, this is the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Now, I know that was a troll, but that's why I asked the question. Lord have mercy. I got the comments for the most part. I got it. Well, look, y'all. Um, I think I said what I needed to say. Thank you all for coming over. Takeaway is we're not excusing bad behavior, but bad behavior has nothing to do with orientation. I can't help but say that. Yusef has not been convicted. He's been arrested. He's not getting bail. So all of this is alleged until that court date happens, and we'll find out. We do know that he was arrested in Bibb County, which is Macon, Georgia. That is a picture of him. His government name is in the Georgia Gazette, where I found it, and we know that to be true. We know that to be true. I don't know anything else except that. We don't know if it was a sting operation. We don't know what was happening. All we know is that somebody sent emails. I got an email. I did not come on quickly. I wasn't racing to hit the button because it was a lot of weight behind this. It's a lot of responsibility you got to take. You know, straight person come up here and talk about this and da 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 da, but you know, for me, I'm like, okay, I know the group. And again, we just had somebody say your community is sick. Again, putting jacket on everybody who gay. And you got people who think just like that. So I had to look at that. I knew that there were going to be some gay people who don't like Yusef, and they were going to say, well, I knew it. And they have every right. Now, had nothing to do with me. But again, I'm going to say this. They feel the same way about you. This is why I look at black people like Candace Owens and these black Republicans who sided with that other man. And then they found out that, oh, they think the same thing about you too. You ain't no different. You saying what they want to say and they'll applaud you for that. But they think the same way about you as well. So I'm just saying. But everybody has their way of thinking, and I'm not here to change it. But if that's the case, if this person is found guilty of the crime, they should do the time. Whether you gay, straight, I don't care who you are. And that's it, you all. It's a lot of moving parts, and it's not about being first on here. I mean, I'm not even. That's not even a concern of mine. Like I said, I got that email. Like, yeah, and I looked at it, and I went in, and I knew it was Yusef, but I wanted to kind of figure out what was going on, and then I'm like, let me come out here because I'm not here about the rah rah stuff and ooh y'all, ooh and Yep, not saying he didn't do it or did do it. It's still alleged until he gets sentenced. And there's a group who are going to get some backlash, even though they shouldn't, but we know we got some weird, crazy people. And I'm just here to say that, like, all black people don't steal, kill, all gay people don't do XYZ and XYZ. I just want to be clear. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.